Hey, hey, who we have here? Hey, Adam. All right, buddy. Hey, man, how the race is going? Thank you for stopping by and taking time out. Popcorn ready, Mountain Dew in hand. All right. Well, hey, I can join you with the Mountain Dew thing. We already got 5 people here. First off, let me say thank you for stopping in on your Friday night, Adam. Obviously, you're at the racetrack, so thank you for taking time out of the races. Do a little split vision. You get a little bit of Scott and a little bit of live action all at the same time. So, hey, all right, U of M. Thank you for stopping by, buddy. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Like I said, it's Friday night. I completely understand. Hey, Mike. All right. Hadn't heard from you guys in a while either. Missed you on the last couple of live feeds. So basically, I took a week off of doing any live feeds to actually get some serious packing moving. And by the time I got done moving stuff, it was too late in the evening for me to even start doing this stuff. And I just needed to rest and get ready for work the next day. So we're to the point now where the packing is where I can start doing these again. And tomorrow I'm going to do another one, and we're starting on the walls. So I'm going to be packing up the walls tomorrow. But tonight, since we already have the obligatory 8, we got 8 people here already. All right. Hey, we got Steffi too. Hi, Steph. Relaxing in the camper. All right, cool, Adam. All right. Well, sorry the racing's already over for the night, but yeah, we got some good stuff here. I've been collecting everything since the last time. So a box came in one day, another box came in the next, and voila, we got some stuff here. And according to the Informed Digest, I should have some more stuff coming in tomorrow. So, hey, there's 10 of us here. Thank y'all, 10 of everybody. Hey, by the beach. I hope you're doing safe and well with all the weather. I hope everybody that's in the Florida area that is viewing this now or later or in the South Carolina area or anywhere there in the Southeast, to be quite honest, is making it through this okay. Because I've heard some pretty horrible stories about buildings being wiped out and whole neighborhoods being gone or underwater. So pretty serious stuff. So my condolences go out to anybody that's had to suffer through anything like that. I personally lived through my house being burned whenever I was younger and losing everything. So I know what that's like firsthand, and I can wish that on nobody. That just ultimately is just bottom line sucks, for lack of a better word. So to anybody that is out there going through that right now, my heart's with you, and good luck. Hey, Ryburn, thank you for stopping by too, man. On the generator and waiting on power, but I can still slot car race if I want. All right. You know you're a diehard if you have no electricity and you're using your generator to power your slot car track. That is a true dedicated H.O slot car hobby, guys. So, man, birds of a feather. I would be doing everything I could. I don't know if many of you get to see Mr. Robert Fish on the Pro Tinker feed, but he has his own channel, and he's got a truck that he takes to car shows, and he's prepping a series of tracks for his bed of his truck that are powered with solar panels. And if you've not had a chance, check out his channel and check out the progress on that truck, because it's pretty ingenious on how he's got it all set up. And I know if I went to a car show, it would draw me right over. And like he said, even if nobody walked over to ask him about the truck, he could sit there and race slot cars all day. So good move. I can't wait to see that all finished up, Robert, whenever you get to see this. All right, let's see here. Hey, man, no problem, man. If there's anything I can do to, from Missouri to help you out, other than say, good wishes or whatever, let me know. Like I said, if I can, I will. That's the kind of guy I am. Your mailman loves you. Hey, Cliff. Yeah, your mailman loves you to your face and cusses you behind your back. And your wallet always hates you because the money's doing this. It's going out instead of coming in. But yeah, so like I said, my postman and I have little one-on-ones about delivering boxes like this. And when they don't fit in the box and you have to get out of the truck, it's just a super pain in the ass. And you can see that one came with the USPS, so he had to do that. Hey, YouTube just let me know I was live. That's awesome. So we got all 12 of us here, raced at HC Slots in Lakeland. Hey, well, by the beach, next time you're there, tell Terry hello. Tell him Scott the hillbilly from Missouri that we talked on the phone that one Saturday about all of his cars that I ordered and all the extra parts and stuff. Says hello and tell him he needs to start making more videos. You meet him at the mailbox. Yeah, I try to, but see, my two little guard dogs think that he's trying to attack me since he's coming at me with stuff. So it's either listen to him bark whenever he's dropping stuff off at the porch, or try to keep him from trying to attack him whenever he's trying to just do his job. So, oh, Adam, my wallet's already screaming because I honestly can say there's 4 out of those 5 cars that I would just love to bid on, but I know that I'm not the only one that feels that way. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, those are some sweet cars. If once again, before we get started on this, just like I always do at the beginning of all my videos and at the very end, I always like to plug the channel first and say, if you're a first time viewer, please like, share, subscribe below. And if you are a current viewer, thank you for stopping by. And if you like this HO content, want to help support the hobby, in the description of this video below, I've listed several other small-time creators of HO slot car content on YouTube, like Dan from Slot Valley Racing and Steve from Stockpile Hobbies as a couple of examples. I also have a link for Pro Tinker Toys down there to their website and the email address to email Ryan and Tim to tell them what you think a good starting price would be for their next series of auction cars coming up next week. So copy that email address down or hit the link and send an email address and tell them what you think those 5 cars should start out with, minimum price for the auction night. And then they take our averages from everybody that emails in, and then they kind of use that as a starting point so that it's fair for everybody, but yet they're not losing money on those cars. Because like I mentioned, any of us that have kept up with that know that they could honestly put most of those cars on eBay and make way more money than they're making off that auction site. So it keeps them off eBay, keeps them from having to pay those evil bay fees, and it gives us access to some really great cars. So let's try to help them out if at all possible. Oh, wow, man. By the beach, just call me jealous. I don't know if I'm turning red with jealousy right now, but I am. That is awesome. Use my email address. You've got it. Send me pictures of that track whenever you get it all set up, man. I want to see that. That's awesome. Yeah, just seeing the tracks that he has, that he does, from his testing tunes and stuff in his basement is pretty cool. So, all right, so we've got 10 people here. I thank you all again for the Friday night. I plugged Pro Tinker Toys. I plugged a couple of our small creators. That slot car guy, if you haven't kept up with him, Travis, the gentleman from Australia that mainly does the larger scale, the 124th, 132nd, is also dipping his toe into the HO scale. He's building a new track that's really kick-ass looking, guys. You might want to stop by and follow along with the progress on that. Tell Travis hello. He'd love the support from the HO community because he is global and everybody around the world in that series of 132nd and 124th knows who he is. So let's make him known as well as he is in that series and our series, and open him with welcome arms. Oh, well, hey, U of M, thank you for checking anyway, man. I was hoping that's why whenever you went to the shed to go looking for stuff, I was like, man, please remember. In fact, short story real quick, and then we'll get started. I was telling a buddy of mine that stopped by today after work that because I was showing him the very end of actually the live feed of today's episode of the Cars and Coffee featurette. And I was saying, I enjoy these because of the people, A, that are in it, and B, what they're trying to do for the hobby by selling those cars and everything and stuff like that. And he goes, well, are you bidding on any of them? Do you want to win any of them? And I go, dude, I said, 4 out of the 5 cars that they showed today, I'd love to have, but my wallet says there's no way in hell that you're going to be able to afford any of them because those cars are just, in the collector world, you can't use the word mint unless it's in the package. You can use the whatever adjective you want to describe it at right under that, but that's what those cars were today. A lot of those, I dare say, look like, literally, like Tim was saying, you could pull them out and put them in a box and make them look new again. and no one would be able to tell the difference. So those are some sweet, sweet cars. But I've never been able to win any of them because they are such sweet cars, and people on that site recognize on that web feed. So he thought it was kind of funny that I was helping promote it and I couldn't even win any of them. But I was like, hey, it's not if I win or if I lose, it's whether or not I'm helping people in the hobby. And that's the whole point of this show. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the one that you guys know that I like the least, and that is I hate it when people send me stuff in envelopes. I don't care if it's bubbled. I don't care if it's doubled over like this. I used to work for the post office. I know this is usually the kiss of death for anything unless it's well packed on the inside. So let's start with the one that I think may disappoint me first because it doesn't feel like there's really anything solid except what should be in there. And that's not a good sign. We've had some pretty good luck on the look what Scott's got live and seeing what Scott's got. And that one racetrack that I got's been the only thing that's been damaged so far with those cars. Okay, cool, Steph. All right, no problem. Okay, well, like I said, I always appreciate the personal notes. I'll read that later. What I'm more concerned about was what's in here. And like I said, oh, we got lucky. Okay. Oh, forgot to get my little piece of track here. So what we have here is a couple of set cars that now obviously I'll be looking for the the set minus the cars, but this is a extreme cliffhangers version of the Tycos. This is the vet version of that track. These are, like I said, set only Corvettes on the 440, not the X2 chassis. So they're original. They're the way they should be. And like I said, it's not that I'm a big Corvette fan. Obviously, you see Ford here and this here, but I do like the Corvettes, and I do know that I'm not the only one. And that if I can get one of those sets and I have the cars and I can get the set cheap enough, then I've got me a pretty good rendition. As you can see, one of the things I will point out, if you are a collector, you're going to want to make sure that any of these that have mirrors molded in, that the mirrors are there. That's just a must. If they're going to be worth anything, if you're trying to collect them, they must have those mirrors. Obviously, everything else needs to be perfect, but the first thing you need to look for is mirrors. So even if everything else is perfect and one of the mirrors is gone, then that's going to degrade it as damaged. So anyway, so these are in perfect shape, no scratches, all the tampos still in perfect shape. So you know me and my Novus, I'll go to town on these bad boys and they'll look as good as new, and I'll do my thorough cleaning and then rebuild of the chassis and stick them on the shelf in the box. So those would be a nice, cool little addition. So I'm very thankful that these weren't damaged, but honestly, you see how they were packed. And I can just tell you guys, if you ever sell anybody anything like a slot car and you try to ship it in this, you are literally rolling the dice, because it's a 50-50 shot if it's going to show up and undamaged. And I'm just amazed. Yeah, amazed that this one didn't. But don't look a gift horse in the mouth is also one of my favorite sayings. So thank you to them for getting this to me in one piece. Hey, Rich. All right, cool. Well, Rich, you need to send me some pictures if you're not going to do a channel and show the progress. I know everybody here would enjoy watching other people build their tracks and see their ideas. Like I said, guys, this is the reason why I started this channel. It wasn't to sell slot cars or trade slot cars. That's just a side benefit of me getting people together to share their fun and experiences with the hobby, and then hopefully draw other people in because they see that this is how somebody does it their way, and this is how somebody else does it their way, and let them know that we all have one thing in common, but we all do it our own way, but we all come together and can respect how everybody does it their own way. So it gives you the freedom, but the unity all at the same time. So that's why I love this hobby. So yeah, please share that if you can. Cheapo shipping, yes, by the beach, yes. You know what's funny is if you use the right box, like something like this, to ship those cars, it won't cost you any more than what that bubble wrap did. So by the time you buy that padded envelope and paid for the shipping, it cost you probably the same or more than if you just would have had one of these little boxes around. And yeah, I'm just saying. You know, it is what it is. I'm just thankful, like I said, I didn't have to be all disappointed and have to go through that. Well, you know, you tried to cheap out, and now look what happened. So, like I said, not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm just going to say I just like to try to share what limited knowledge that I have, guys. Because trust me, I'm no fountain of information. I just know what I know, and if I know it to be fact, then I'll try to share it, and if I don't, then I won't. So, obviously, this one's in a box, so we're off to a better start. Cool, thanks, Rich. Yeah, one way or another, man. My emails are always, my email address is available on my channel. You can reach me through my business. If you don't want to do a video for the channel, I completely get that, but at least send me some stills. Mike has sent me some of the stuff that he's done tracks of in the past, and he gets pretty creative on his stuff. I can't wait to see, now that him and Steph are moving in, what kind of tracks that he's going to build for them to race on, because he's got a lot of track, and he's got some pretty creative ideas. I love that one that worked its way in and worked its way out, by the way, Mike. Oh, goody, goody, goody. All right. So, what we have here, well, let's just do a little damage, check it out real quick, because something doesn't feel right on those tires. Okay, just the old classic, someone pushed them together thing. I was worried there for a minute that you'd be surprised what kind of stuff, when you buy used stuff, what people will do to make it look good on the camera to try to sell it to you. But anyway, what we have here is another one of those Batman Forever Gotham Police Department Chevrolet Camaros. That's what that is right there. And I said, oh, goody, 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 because like I said, I wanted to have one as like a collectible for in the case, and I wanted one to be able to use on my diorama for, you know, whatever around the track. And I'm going to have Tyco Auto World and AFX Aurora police cars and service vehicles mixed in throughout the diorama. So this just gave me one of those extras. And like I said, guys, I throw spaghetti on the wall when I bid on this stuff. And if I throw out my price, and if someone beats me, great, it's theirs. And if I win it, great. And this is just one of those ones that I got for the right price. So yay, Scott, it got on there. As you can see, the tampo's all perfect on this bad boy. The Hot Wheels is still, I don't know, let me look at the TV. Yep, it's coming out. The Hot Wheels is still on the back glass. The lights aren't broken off. There are two versions of this car, by the way. Okay, so this is the 86 precinct version, and then there's a DC Comics version, and it's right back there in the quarter. So there's two versions of this car, and they look identical, except for right back there. Yeah, I'm looking at myself to make sure that you guys can see where I'm pointing. Right back there is where you're going to be able to tell the difference in the two cars. If you're a collector, that's what you're going to look for. So two different versions of this Gotham Police Department that came from the two different Batman track sets. And like I said, that's the only difference in the two cars is right back here. So something to look forward to. So cool. We're off to a great start. Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree. 100 percentile. So, well, like I said, I always like to interact. So, do any of you out there have now live or later have this specific Tyco cliffhangers set? I think they called it the Tyco Extreme Cliffhangers Zero Gravity, I think is the exact name of it. But I know that they use these in a couple of other sets. Anybody out there have that one, or the other version of this police car, or the set that this car goes with? Because I got the tumbler last week. Okay, cool, Mike. Oh, I can't wait to see him. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Hey, Dave. Sorry. All right, cool. All right. Well, while you guys are thinking about my question to you about this, if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. But hey, Dan. All right. Nice to see you here, buddy. Well, here, I won't even open it up yet, man. I'll give you a special rewind real quick. I received 2 set Corvettes that were from the Extreme Cliffhanger Zero Gravity, I believe is what it was called. And then I got another set from Batman, the Tyco sets at the Gotham Police Department Camaro. So that's all you've missed so far. Haven't missed too much of anything, except for me catching up with everybody and making sure people in Florida were safe and getting jealous of people buying tracks and telling people to make films or send me pictures of the tracks they make. And like I said, guys, this is a sharing thing. So I appreciate you guys interacting, and I appreciate the people that are coming in. And Dan, I haven't had a chance. I've watched your video. I just haven't had a chance to get on the computer and actually type because I hate to sit there and try to do it on my phone. But while Dan with Slot Valley Racing is here, he's the one I mentioned earlier at the very beginning. In fact, the number one of people to support in my description below. He's got a couple of videos out. One, there he actually gets Dan with Viper Racing to go over some of the different series of the chassis of his Viper cars. And that was a great idea, Dan. Kudos to that. Great video. And I will be sure and leave a comment on it because we want to get that interaction with the channels going. So I will take care of that for you. And then he did a second video just after that at a car show on live pinstriping and just going around the car show in general and look at some of those awesome cars. Guys, if you're a car fanatic, you've got to check that video out. So great work. Thank you, buddy. Keep up the good work. And I will definitely get with you on those videos. And then I still owe you another email too. I just noticed that you replied to mine, so I apologize. I will get back to you, man. It's just been, yeah, running around like a chicken with my head cut off. No, thank you, man. Like I said, I appreciate everybody that takes their time to do this because I know how much time it takes to do these videos, and we're not getting paid, so we just do it because we like to. So thank you for continuing to do it. See, I'm even good with you using the post office. Just so anybody knows, once again, a little timeout from Scott. You can get these boxes for free from the post office. For free. You just walk in, grab them, and walk out. And then do like this person did and wrap it up with whatever kind of paper that was, just to block off all the priority mail stuff. And then you can just ship it normal first class. So, and it didn't cost you anything for the box. So, even if you don't have postal paper to wrap it with, get a grocery bag. I mean, it's the same stuff. So just trying to throw out ideas to help people out. If you don't want to invest in trying to buy boxes or stuff like that, and try to keep people from using those padded envelopes. All right, so we're off to another good start. Okay, cool. I think that's it in here. Yeah. Cool. That'll hit the recycle bin. I told you guys I'd quit buying stuff, and that meant that it was with my money. And I have also told you guys since the very beginning, every time I sell something, either off eBay, off this channel, or off my business, I reinvest the profit of that money into purchasing more stuff, either to buy to sell or to buy to keep to add to my collection. So that's where all of this literally came from, is in the last couple of weeks. I've been very fortunate and sold quite a few cars. And so I turned right around and did a little bit of both. Like I said, invested for me and invested for stuff to turn around and fix and resell, or got good deals on doing the package stuff. So obviously the first 2 packages we opened today were for me, and we might as well call it 3 for 3. Here we have the 962 Porsche. And if you excuse me, if you remember earlier today, if you were privy to the Pro Tinker Toys featurette, this is one of the 962s in the series of 962s that goes with that Miller car that they're going to auction off next week. This is the BF Goodrich version, obviously. It has a little tampo wear on it. The one that I own that's in my case is good. This one still has tampo wear. But if you remember, I mentioned that on that red one, I bought it as a runner, and I was going to go ahead and use it as a runner. And this is why this one was bought. It's a runner. So that's why I bought this one. It's already got a little bit of wear. It's on the HP7 chassis that I won't use, but I can use that chassis underneath something else that it's appropriate for, and put one of my hopped up 440 X2 chassis underneath it. So even though it's kind of worn where people pick it up, like I said, no big deal. It's a runner, and that's why I bought it. So I got three, one for the diorama, two for the case, and one to hit the track. So so far it's been all Scott's personal stuff right here. Nothing to resell, just good old stuff to add to have fun with, or to look at, or to enhance my table. So cool, off to a good start. I'm happy so far. Nothing damaged, knock on wood. Got 4 great cars. Nice and low. Yes. 962. Yeah, see, I agree with you guys. Yeah, see, that's why I got 2 of them that are just, I mean, they look like I've got one 962 HP7, the red and the black one. I've got that one brand new in the package on the wall. And I've got one that's in the case that would look like it could be out of the package. And then that one that I soaked in if you go back, if you haven't seen the video on how to remove paint from cars without removing the tampo, I showed you the 3 different versions of what happened to me whenever I did it. And when I left it in there too long, how I turned that red and black one into a solid red, which turned out to be a good mistake because that car looks good. But yeah, so now I've got 2 of each of those runners, which is what I wanted originally. Just one looks a little different than the other, but that's okay. So, when you get them for the right price, like I said, then it wasn't one of those impulse buys or anything. It was, I had a goal in mind. I wanted some of those as runners because I love those Porsches. Yes, by the beach. Runners are always the fun. So honestly, I love looking at my cars, but I get way more fun than looking at them if I'm doing that with them on the track. And that's why I race all of my 4-gear dragsters and funny cars, because I love the way they look. But okay, cool. I love it when they send an invoice in there so you know exactly what you bought. Oh, goody. Well, it just happens to pertain to tonight. And so we're on the 4th package of Look What Scott's Got. And this is another for Scott only. This is going to be eventually a runner. I'm not going to take it out of the package yet because obviously it's still in there. But here we have one of the new 3 releases of the Field Dragsters. This happens to be the number 2 of Clay Millican's Parts Plus. And here recently, his team was purchased by a guy that's very wealthy, and they're going to sink a lot of money into that team, and it's already starting to show dividends. So don't be surprised if next year you hear Clay Millican's name a lot in the winner's circle. So this is a great looking car. We'll get a closer look at it whenever I open it up and actually stick it in the case, whenever I get moved to the new place. But suffice to say, I'm excited to have this because this means now literally, because unlike the funny cars, nostalgia and modern, I do have every single Field Dragster except for 2 now. So we're 2 away. I got a good deal on this one. So one of those things too good to pass up. So that's why I grabbed it. So really pumped to have that. So that really fits in with what's going on tonight. Just ordered it. See, told you, Dan, brother from another mother. Great minds think alike. That's a cool looking car too. I mean, honestly, I have them all, and I can tell you right now that blue looks good. That blue and that black, that's a sweet looking ride. Just saying. And your order, by the way, cleared customs finally in Canada, so it says it's being traveled around. So it's on its Canadian World Tour. I got a notification today. How does it corner? Great up until that part where you want it to turn. Oh, well, the shape of this box tells me it's got to be something new, because I did order some new cars. Oh, well, just call me butter because I'm on a roll. Yuck, yuck. No, I'm no comedian. Well, here's the other 2 of the 3. So now I officially have all of the Field Dragsters. So let's get this out of the way. pick up the peanuts before the dogs decide they want to try to eat them. And we'll start with the first one. This is the Capco Steve Torrance. I believe he's a 4-time Topio champion. Good looking black and red car. Like I said, this is one of the ones, the newest releases of the Dragsters. This is one of the 3, if you heard me talk when I started doing these cases, that I did not have. And I was honestly, I know it sounds crazy for somebody that has this many cars, but when I got to those funny cars and I had to keep skipping over series because I didn't have certain cars, I was like, man, this is embarrassing. And so I made sure that before I did this one, I had these. So at some point in time between last Friday and this Friday, these bad boys came in, and I'm glad they did. So now I can honestly say I've got them all. So that was car 1. I showed you car 2. And here is car 3, which is the Doug Coletta Mac Tools Top Fuel Dragster. And like I said, I'm trying to stay away from the camera. I don't want you guys to get to clicking. So now I have the final 1, 2, and 3 piece. Obviously, their little thing fell out of that, but I don't care because it's getting opened up. These aren't going on the wall. They're going to go in the case. So, yeah, there's the last 3 series in case you guys didn't know they were out there. If I do well this weekend on selling cars, then the next ones I'm going to get to add, I'll just tell you straight up, again, and I'm going to mention it because there are some good looking cars. If you're into these 4-gear dragster type cars, there's a memorial tribute car for Bill Grumpy Jenkins and Dino Don Nicholson's. Both their Camaros when they're obviously Grumpy always drove Camaros, but Dino Don went between Ford and Chevy. And this is a tribute car to his Camaro days. So those are the next 2 cars that I'm going to try to order and get some of these more of these dragsters filled out. So like I said, these all bring a smile to my face. This is just like a little kid for Christmas to me because I hadn't opened anything in over a week, and all I've been doing is packing stuff away. And when my buddy I told you came over earlier today, I started pointing at the wall to start to point at a car. Well, the case is already packed up and the wall's blank. So I was like, well, that's where the car should be. And there it is. So just picture in your mind, it's right there. We got a good chuckle out of it. But yeah, because like I said, I've lived here for this would be my 11th year going through my 11th year. So I've accumulated a lot of stuff. He's seen it all expand, and he's one of the regular racers. So we've gotten, so far, we're up to 7 cars, and I'm going to have to move some of this stuff out of the way for the big box. So let's move that out of the way. No, they don't. You're right. That's why a tip that you're going to want to take advantage of, Dan, if you don't already know it, Slot Valley, is warm them up before you race them. Sit there and just sit there and hold them if you have to. I've seen some, there's a vendor on eBay that sells those little things that lift them up for like 12 or 15 bucks. I'm like, you know what, for 15 bucks, I can sit there and hold it for 2 or 3, 30 or 40 seconds until I hear the motor start really zinging and know it's warmed up, and then take it down the track. Some things I will spend money on, other things like that, then I'm like, I'm not in the position financially to say, ha ha ha, that's I can blow that money. So let's see here. Okay, so I heard it clicking. I'm sorry. I'll back up. I apologize to all 15. Wow, thank you guys. Yeah, any of the 4 gears, Clint. That's any of the 4 gears. I mean, whether Aurora or Auto World, it's just Auto World. If you get one brand new out of the package. In fact, I'll probably, unless Slot Valley beats me to it, which Dan, since you have you have accessibility to putting up your track, you might show everybody. I take mine apart completely and clean out all of that goo. They call it, I know it's some sort of lube. It reminds me of a gear assembly lube. Anyway, I take all that and I clean all that crap out of it, and then I actually oil mine with my oil that I have that I use for my cars, and it makes a world of difference. Yeah, if you try to run them straight out of the box, sometimes they barely run, if at all. and it's because of that stupid goo that they have on there. But yeah, I've ordered a couple of tracks, and I got another one of my little. I always wanted a set that had this particular car in it, and one came available, and I was fortunate enough to negotiate a price, and we came to an agreement, and I was able to purchase it. So now I'm on the watch list of waiting, watching that tracking number try to get here, because I've got another really cool track to share with you guys. I don't know if it's going to beat the Smoky and the AFX Express that I got, or the 4-lane Tyco that I got, but it's going to be pretty cool. I don't know. I think it's going to beat the Tyco. I think it's going to be like a 1-2 with the Smoky. And they did absolutely no extra packing on the outside. They used the original box and used this wrap, all-weather protectant wrap, to cover it up. So I'm hoping that they read my message and took care of what's inside. Because as we all know, you can try to sell the box, but it's the car or cars that what make the set. Oh, speaking of sets, I was right about, by the way, AFX is going to be coming out with a supercar, American Supercars race set, and it's going to feature the new Vet and the Ford GT, and it's going to be a Heritage Edition Ford GT that's going to be kind of like a frost blue, a little different than the Bob Beers version that I've got on the wall that I'll show you guys tomorrow. Sorry, I couldn't wait to tell you guys that. I was going to wait until I got to that wall to share that, but my luck, they would have released it and everybody would have seen it. So we've got 2 race sets that we're waiting on from AFX for the shipment to get over here. And that's the first one is the Horsepower Challenge with the new Camaro and the new Mustang Shelby GT500. And then we've got the American Supercar set. I think they're calling it Super Coupes, with the new Ford GT Heritage Edition and the new Corvette. And it's supposed to be a different color than the other 2 that they're releasing later this fall. So Race Masters has got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Get the wallets ready. All right. Looky here. The old big block shootout. And this comes with the old classic 396 Chevelle SS and your nice Mustang here. Obviously, this one's, used. I already have this set. If you remember, we saw whenever I was packing that both those were still in the bubble wrap in my case. Sorry, I just now saw the glare. So if I got a smoking deal on this tractor, let's put it this way: I paid less for it than it was brand new, and I paid less than what you would buy the cars for individually for the whole thing. So let's open it up and take a look inside and make sure that the one thing that I'm concerned about, the car, is okay. Because part of the reason why I got that good deal is because it only came with one of the cars. And if you know me, you can take a 50-50 guess on which car it came with. And if you say the blue one, your 50-50 guess is wrong. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. No, U of M, they do a lot of these big block shootouts with different series of cars. And I think, honestly, they're going to do another version of this again. But they actually have done this with a Mega G version of this very same track. I don't have it, but I know that they have. Oh, okay. Well, all right. So if you guys remember, whenever if you've seen some of the pictures of my track, you notice that I've got the 2-sided, and you notice these haven't been used. They still got the strip on them, which is good. This is how they pack them. So this is a good thing. Cool. So I got some more barriers. Move those out of the way. Oh, see, we're off to a great start. That's awesome. I was kind of worried whenever we used the original box for packing. Oh yeah, all sorts of extra big bubble wrap. Oh, here's what I'm wanting. Here's the, we don't need to look at bubble wrap track. I'll put that over here. What we care about is this. Well, me, myself, and I. There's the we. The Goo Gone. Yeah. I don't use Goo Gone. I've used a couple of different oils on my car based on my one-to-one car experience, and then using that theory and scaling it down. And let's just say 0 weight's where it's at. All right, winner chicken dinner. Oh, thank goodness. Not broken or scratched or beat up in any way. All right, so cool. We've had a couple of vets, a Camaro, and a Porsche. It's time to get a little Ford iron in there. And here we have the Boss 429 Mustang that comes in that set. This car routinely goes for over $100 on eBay by itself. It's a great looking car. I've got one of these, obviously, like I said, because I've got the set, and I've got one that's still in the bubble. But this one's been barely used. I'm very thankful that I got it and everything with it. I honestly thought it was going to have a little more playware than what it has on it, but honestly, guys, the reason why I bought this whole set was I have someone that races with us that wanted the extra track so they could make their track bigger because they haven't mounted anything yet, and I wanted the car, and so we made a deal on it where I get to keep the car, he gets to keep the track, and this is going to be part of our my IROC series that I have with the older style Mustangs to go along with the newer style Mustangs. So this will be obviously the red lane car, and they'll all run on the Mega G Plus chassis. So there we go. We'll get to see this one again. It's a runner. Yeah, yeah. U of M. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm so far behind, but olive oil. It has a lot of great purposes. I just don't believe that any of them belong on my slot cars. I don't know. I know I'm quirky like that, guys. Yeah. I'm just glad, honestly. I mean, even if I noticed that on that little poll, that a lot of people didn't want him to even use the Novus, and I get it. I can understand just leaving it the way it is too. But anything to get him away from that olive oil has got to be better than that. I mean, to me personally. So I understand where people were coming from. No Novus at all. I completely get that. But I also look at the alternative. Would you rather have Novus or olive oil? Because he's going to do one or the other. See, hey, speaking of which, how many of you all had never tried Novus until you heard Tim or myself speak about it? And then if you did not hear about it before and you tried it for the first time, do you think we need to be shot for being snake oil salesmen, or do you think that it actually worked and did kind of what we said? Like I said, makes them shine up, makes them look pretty good, and gets rid of some really fine scratches. Hey, by the beach, thank you for stopping by. Stay safe, buddy. Get a hold of me if I can help out in any way, shape, or form. Thank you for taking the time to stop by tonight. I appreciate it. If you can, gas her up tomorrow and stop by. We'll be doing some more packing on the cars on the wall. Take care, man. Have a good night. LaBelle 107. See, I've actually got some of that in my cart on Amazon. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, last night Brian was complaining on race night about Tim eating, and he was eating while he was complaining. Talk about throwing rocks in a glass house. I'm just saying. So quick little recap, and then we'll get to the packing thing, because I know some people tune out as soon as they see after the look what Scott's got, they're gone. And so just look, I'll just go completely in reverse. I got the big block battler, or big block shootout, I'm sorry, race set used. It only came with one car. It came with the Boss 429 Mustang, and I got the whole thing for less with the Mustang than it would have cost me if I just wanted to buy the Mustang by itself. And so there's the Mustang that we got. And then I also got another Gotham Police Department a set only police car that is one of two versions. And if you are a collector, you're going to want to look right back there in the corner to see which version that you have, and then obviously get the other version, and you'll have them both. And I only have one of them, and I keep getting the same one, and I will get the other version so we can show it. And then I got me a runner here, got the 962 BF Goodrich Porsche, and I'll go ahead and plug Pro Tinker Toys again. Next week on auction night, they've got the Miller genuine draft version, which I've already shown. I've got one of those cars, but the one that they have blows my version away. And that would be one that I would be trying to buy. But I know that there's several people going to want that car because it's in great condition. But anyway, long story short, I would, if you're into those Porsches and you're wanting to try to add to your collection and get that Miller car, you're not going to find a better version unless it's brand new than the one that they're going to try to auction next week at Pro Tinker. And you can email Brian and also follow the link below to get to their webpage and join up and be notified of their auctions and all their featurettes. And then last but not least, on the track piece here, a couple of set only Corvettes that came from a zero gravity Cliffhangers track set. They're on the 440 chassis, not the X2s. And so long story short, now I'm on the hunt for that specific track set without cars, because that's usually the cheapest way to buy them. I got both of these cars for $30. So, you know, I figure that into the price of what I have to pay for the track. And then if I get a good enough deal, then I buy the track as long as it's complete. So off to a great start on all the cars. Like I said, got a deal set up to get, you know, sell that track. So, and then last but not least, since all those were together, I got the latest release of the 3 Top Fuel Dragsters, the Steve Torrance, Clay Millican, and Doug Coletta. And so with these 3, when we go through the case tonight, you will officially have seen every single Top Fuel Dragster in a series that Auto World offers. And I say series and emphasize series because they do make set only cars, and I do have some examples of those. But those are even harder to find and more expensive, and you've got to be on the ball and hope that you're Johnny on the spot, let's put it that way, to get those, because they usually, people know what they're looking at whenever they see those, and they usually sell for some pretty good money, more than I want to spend. I happened to buy the race set that had some of those. That's how I acquired mine. But let me set some of this stuff out of the way. I'll get this thing set up, and then we will go through, just like we did with the funny cars. I'll show you guys the history, or tell you what series they are, and then how many cars were in that series, and we'll just rip right through them. Because like I said, I've been fortunate enough to collect them all. So if you're into the 4-gear drag racing stuff, and you've always wanted to see what every single series of those cars look like, tonight's your night. And I'm sorry, I hear the thing clicking. I'm trying to get away from it while I'm doing this. You see, that's why I'm stretching. I just got to clear off room because that thing's a monster size-wise. All right. Get these dragsters out of the way. Hey, Ryburn, cool. Thank you for backing me up. Yeah, no, I've been using it before. I thought it was funny when a lot of you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, you need to go see Beetle Man 50, some of his videos. He's got a lot of good informative stuff. And it's funny to hear him discover it for the first time, because he used it and he's just like, oh, I'm sold. You know, like I said, anybody that's not used it for the first time, when you do use it, you're going to be like, wow, where have you been all my life? So. Sorry, I got to find places to put stuff because other stuff's in the way. All right. Try to get away from it here. I'm going to look at the TV real quick and then try to set it with the door open and try to get it where it's going to stand on itself by itself and not crash and burn on me. And then I got to still be able to get to everything. So that's pretty good. Now I just got to make sure I don't hit the door. Cool. So am I the only one out there that collects these 4 gears, or does any of you guys out there have any of them, or just what came with your set if you got one of those drag sets? Or like I said, that's why I really want to get one of those Snake versus Mongoose drag sets that they did the track orange, supposedly like a Hot Wheel track, and it's got those vans in it. I don't particularly need another track, but I want those vans. And like I said, you can't buy those vans for less than $100 a pair. And for another $25, literally to my door, I can buy the whole set with the vans brand new. So when I'm ready to spend $125 on that set, I've noticed they're not selling really quickly. So I've been taking my time. Then I'll have those vans. But right now I'm more concerned about getting those limited edition pro stocks. So let me, I knew I forgot something. I got to get my phone. Got to get my cheat sheet. Since my real cheat sheet's already packed away. All right. Yeah, I had it already pulled up, had the phone on the charger just to make sure that I wouldn't lose anything. So the first release we're going to start out with tonight, and the very first release of any of the Dragsters, and that is release 7 right up there, release 7 NHRA. And let me get another piece of track. And that way I can stick them on the track before I roll them up. Because there's some pretty cool looking cars. All right. Yes. Yeah. See. Yeah. Once you start, you can't stop. You see how good looking those cars are, right? Slot Valley Dan. You see what I'm talking about. You start looking at them. You're like, man, kick ass. Look how detailed these things are. And then you realize they look like the real thing. So there's 4 cars in this series. The first one we'll start off with is the Tony Schumacher, U.S. Army. And once again, this is the Series 7. Here, let me get my thumb out of the way. And I'm looking at my TV now, and I'm trying to listen for the camera to click in. That's a pretty good view of it. I'll rotate it. You can see they stick to the track pretty good. It's holding its own weight. It's holding itself up. Good looking U.S. Army car. We'll see it again with another livery. But the Sarge. Little fun fact, if you guys keep up with NHRA drag racing, Tony Schumacher, his dad, Don Schumacher, and Schumacher Racing, DSR, they sold their Top Fuel operation to the Maynard family, and now Tony drives for them. So he doesn't drive for his dad anymore, and I think Skag Equipment signed on with them. All right. Put that in there. And this is the second one. Oop. He's trying to slide away from me, so I'll stick a finger up there. But the Copart Top Fueler, nice color, good looking car. Oh, I heard it clicking. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. These the detail they did on these, like I said, if they could just get their act together on the chassis. very fortunate that we got a couple of companies that are really battling for realism between AFX Race Masters and Auto World. The way I had those in there, might as well get them both out. What I do is whenever I'm done here, I lay the thing down and then lay them in there on the back side of it, and then put extra bubble wrap over the top before I close the door. So the third one in line is the Alan Johnson Alanabi. I believe this is when it was driven by Larry Dixon. See if I can move my thumb. And I'm watching the TV and it's a little bit behind, so I apologize if. Yeah, there we go. It's a good looking car. I'm trying to get I see the glare, so I'm trying to rotate it out of the way. That's why I'm a little slow on doing it, is because, yeah, Qatar, the country of Qatar. You know, you got a good sponsor when a whole country's sponsoring you. That's what's on the wing up there. Hey, Jack, thank you for stopping by, buddy. If you stick around till the end, I go in reverse. You know I always do, up until the point of where I start wrapping. I'm not going to unwrap all the cars, so you haven't missed too much. You missed all the look what Scott's got, but we're only on car 3 of the Top Fuel series, and part of look what Scott's got was the latest 3 series. So I'm now showing every series of Top Fuel Dragsters that Auto World produced. I did hear Brian say that he missed the boat on those drag cars, guys, and he's going to rectify that issue, because he was pushing those one of the latest series of funny cars the other day, just this week. I can't remember what day. Like I said, everything's blurring together. I apologize, but. And then number 4 in that 4-car series of the series 7 is the Spencer Massey Fram Top Fueler. Here, I'll hold it like that and try to get rid of some of that glare. There we go. You can see it says Autolite Spark Plug Company, which is part of Fram Bendix, the parent company. So, good looking car. Orange. So it's kind of unique, easy to spot out of the crowd. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, man. This is the very first series. Like I said, series 7s. These are the oldest Top Fuel dragsters that Auto World made. And this next one has the one that's headed your way. So I always like to tell you guys the order that we're going in. So we just saw release 7. Release 8, we will not be able to see because it's still packed up, and that's the silver screen, and it's the Scooby-Doo van, the Batmobile, and the Ghostbusters Cadillac. Then we have release 9, which is the modern funny cars. And then we go to the next one, which is Top Fuel Dragsters, which is release 10. And it was a 4-car release. And that's these bad boys. And the night that I lost the auction to you, Ryburn, these are the cars that I was able to purchase that I got offered the good deal on that I couldn't believe. So when one door closed, another opened, and it allowed me to have the money to purchase the remaining 3 cars of that 4-car set that I did not own. So it all works out, my friend. See, that's why I don't begrudge anybody that beats me on an auction, because it's just another opportunity to invest in something else. And it just so happened that very same night. So this was one of the cars I needed, And it just so happened I got all 4 of them. And actually one of those 4, because that's the one that's been originally sitting in my case by itself, the Geico. And the one that actually came with the set of 4 that I bought is actually on its way to a Slot Valley up north. And we'll get to that one here in just a minute. But there's the Aaron's funny car. Whenever you guys can remember, they were really big into motorsports before they filed bankruptcy. And the next one is the Doug Coletta again. This is in his Mac Tools livery again. I like the big wrench on the front there. That's pretty cool. Stanley. Hey man, I told you in the very beginning, and I meant that from the heart, man. No, I'm glad it went to a good home, and like I said, it all worked out. I even said that night that because you bought that car, it freed up the money to allow me to buy these. So it all worked out. I mean, I'd really love to have that Porsche that you have, but I also wanted the 3 cars that I needed to finish the 4 out for there, and I knew the prices that these were going for individually, and the offer that I got for the whole set, I just couldn't pass up. So yeah, it all worked out. So thank you. Yeah, no, man, these are awesome. And no, I don't use anything Fram or Autolite or anything like that on my Mustang. I use Mobile One synthetic everything that I can. And when I say everything, I'm talking the grease, the oil, the differential, you name it. Everything Mobile One. And in case you guys were wondering, or could care less either way, but I'm going to tell you, Mobile One does make specific racing oil too. It just costs more. And if any of you are wondering, I have tried Royal Purple. And Mama said, if you can't say nothing good, don't say nothing at all. So I'm not going to say nothing at all. And that ought to be a clue. But anyway, here's the one that is taking on its trip to Canada that came with that set. This is the one that I already owned, and it was sitting in the box solo for the other, waiting on the other 3 to join it. But this is the Morgan Lucas Geico Topio Dragster. Yeah, and yours has never been out of the one that you're getting, Slot Valley, is in the box. It's never been out of the box. That's exactly the way I got it, and it looks just like this, except in the box. So you got a good looking car. Got the little Geico on there and everything. The little Geico. Sorry. Yeah, good looking car. Morgan Lucas of Lucas Oil, in case of any of you are wondering. All right. And here we have another Clay Millican. This is another version of his Parts Plus Top Fuel Dragster. I like this one. I like the way they did the fade paint job. Let me, yeah, there we go. It'll hold itself. I'm trying to get it where it doesn't. Trying to get the reflection away. You can kind of see what I'm talking about, but it fades more from a red to an orange and on the sides, and it's a sweet looking car. I like it. I like it. Good looking stuff. And there's, I don't know if it's going to come out on the TV or on the camera. I'm sorry, but Lucas Oil is one of the sponsors. Not too much glare. Sorry, but take my word for it. Lucas Oil's up there. What we got here? Brad Penn Oil for race motors. See, I know that Brad Penn Oil is popular with a lot of guys that run alcohol, Don. I run E85. Well, we'll be running E85 again. I started with the 85, and then I went back to BP C16, which is their 116 octane. But I plan on going back to the 85 when the motor comes back with the turbos. get a steady 110 octane and get the cooling effect of alcohol. So I'll look into that Brad Penn. All right, so that was all of release 10. And the next one, believe it or not, is release 11, and it's these three right here. Came up there. We got the Optima batteries, Topio Dragster. A lot of red and a lot of black, if you notice, on a lot of these cars. Still good looking ride. Coletta. I believe this is a J.R. Todd. Or maybe not. Maybe it was Doug himself. Good looking car. Like I said, there's only 3 cars in this series. One of my dogs is down here scratching. I'm trying to figure out where he was at. Didn't want to run over him with my chair. And here we have Morgan Lucas again. We'll see another version of this car. I've got one of their limited edition chrome versions of this. And this is the MAV TV. And in case you didn't know, that's owned by Forrest Lucas of Lucas Oil. This is Morgan Lucas, his son. And they own that MAV TV station too. So, and in case any of you missed it earlier, they're originally Forrest Lucas of Lucas Oil, the guy that founded the company, is originally from Wheatland, Missouri, which is about an hour from where I live. And he has a racetrack up there. They call it the Diamond of Dirt Tracks. And here's a pretty cool livery. I like this one. This is Terry Mcmillan. And those of you that don't know who Amalie is, Amalie Motor Oil is a motor oil, obviously. And their logo is the alligator. Why, I don't know, but that's what it is. But that's what you see on the car there. So I thought that was pretty cool. Putting the old alligator on the Topio Dragster. And that's the first time we've seen Terry, but we'll see him again. He's got several cars. Good looking ride. And like I said, that's release 11 that we just viewed. Oh yeah. See, Don, you put your motors through hell. That's what kills motors is on and off, on and off. So yeah, no, thank you for the tip. I'm definitely gonna, like I said, I know several people that ran it, but I went back to my Mobile One when I went back to BP Race Fuel. And let's see here. Release 12 is Legends. Release 13 is Modern Funny Cars. Release 14 is Nostalgia. Release 15 is the Batman series that I'm missing the Catwoman car on that I don't have out to show you guys because it's all packed up. 16 is Funny Cars that I didn't have any of the Nostalgia. 17 is Nostalgia Funny Cars that I only had one of. And then that brings us to 18, which is the next one for the Top Field Dragsters. So let's see what they do. So they went 10 and 11, and then they didn't bring them back till release 18. So they had 7 releases between the last release I just showed you and this one. And this is Antron Brown's Matco Tools. Funny car. And I don't know, I'm going to try to get it where you guys can see what I'm talking about, but I'm looking at the TV. I'm trying to get the angle right, and I apologize. Like I said, it takes me a second to see what you're seeing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. Well, you can kind of see, but it's getting whited out by the light. But I'll just explain. So this car has the name of every single Matco Tools driver dealer on it, everywhere. And what's really cool about this car is if you get out a magnifying glass, you can read the names. That is kick ass. I mean, they're so small, I can't read them without a magnifying glass. But suffice to say, if you get one out, you can read all the names on that car. And they're all the way down the side, the top, and on the other side. And they're all different. And they're all the actual names of the people that were on the car. That was the year they did that livery for that car. Pretty cool. That's how much detail they have on these cars. Now you guys kind of get an idea why I like them so much. See, Don, I tell you guys, if I don't know, I'm not going to say it. I always assumed, which you know what happens when you assume, ASS, you and me, that it was a Florida-based company based on the alligator, and then all their commercials have the Gulf in them. You know, I'm not the brightest guy. I'm no Sherlock Holmes, but I can kind of put some of the pieces of the puzzle together, and that's what I came up with, was a Gulf type company, and I lean towards Florida because of the Gators, because of the football team. So cool. Thank you for confirming that. That's awesome. Oh no, Jack. You might try to, hey, Privateer, thank you. Legends are the sweet ones. I agree with you. Those cars kick ass. That's why they bring the top money. That's why I'm missing a few of them. I think like around 13 total. I think I'm what I'm missing. Not yeah, and the ones that I'm missing are really expensive. So here we have another J.R. Todd. This is the Seal Masters. Here I see the glare. I'm trying to get it out of there. And once again, I like it because it's black and it's kind of, I know it's not showing up on the camera because I'm right underneath the light, but that's more of a neon type lime yellowish, I guess, kind of like a highlight marker. So it really contrasts off that black in person. Good looking car. Can't miss it going down the track, that's for sure. Yeah. So you understand what I'm talking about, Privateer. When I say these things get pricey, they get pricey. Those old ones, they get really, really expensive. I was, like I said, if you missed my other one, I was very fortunate to get them when I got them. And even then, I thought they were a little out of their league. Little did I know. All right. And I mentioned earlier we'd see another Tony Schumacher Army livery. And here's the second and last livery of the Army that you're going to see in the Top Field Dragsters that are releases, not necessarily set cars. There are a couple of Army cars that are set only. So, but these are the only ones that are actually released in a series. And they did away with the camo, if you don't remember, and it's just more of a straight black. Still a sweet looking car. I like the way they did the silver wing and the silver aerodynamic winglets. Pretty cool. Like I said, good looking car. A lot of these haven't been ran yet because, like I said, you know, I've got quite a few of these cars and they're all meant to be racers, but once you clean them and warm them up and you start using them, then you kind of stick with the ones that you already were using. So here we have the last release before the one that I just got today. And we're skipping. Oh, well, that was nice. Good thing I bubble wrapped it. There we go. So that was release 18. 19 is modern funny cars. 20 is nostalgia funny cars. Release 20 is a silver screen that I have, but it's already packed away. 21 is modern funny cars. 22 is legends or nostalgia. 23 is modern. 24 is modern. 25. So I missed it. Where'd it go? No. 18. Oh no, my little cheat sheet don't have them. Well, they're after the 18s, obviously, and because these were the last ones before the others. So sorry, I don't know exactly which series these came from, but this is Leah Pruitt. Now I guess Leah Pruitt Stewart, since she's married to Tony Stewart, the retired IndyCar NASCAR driver. And this is her Mopar Top Fuel Dragster. And once again, kind of like her current team now, Mopar is a big sponsor. Those of you that may or may not follow drag racing may or may not know, she also runs in a class called Super Stock, and that's the ones where the factory gets involved, and she drives a factory Hellcat, I believe, is what her version of that car is in that class. Kind of like it goes against the Copo Camaros and the Cobra Jet Mustangs. And the next one is another female in drag racing, and we saw her sister in the funny car, and that was Ashley and Courtney Force. And here we have Brittany Force in her Advanced Auto Parts Top Fuel Dragster, solid red. Okay. Cool looking car. I really wish they would pick the Monster livery, because she's sponsored by Monster Energy Drink too. And I think that would be cool to have, but that's just my 2 cents worth. And this is the last Terry Mcmillan that we're going to see, because he got out of drag racing, my understanding, but he may be coming back. But until then, this is the last one you're going to see. And they did the alligator on this one a little different, where the other one was like just half the alligator's head. This is the whole thing there. Like I said, it's just a little bit different. But once again, the detail, incredible. Love these cars. They're just awesome. Cool. All right, wrap this one up. All right, so that's the only 3 that were in that particular series. And then the last series that they just came out with is the one that I just got tonight. The latest, I'm sorry, is the one that I just got tonight that I just showed off. And so these next 4 that you see down here in the case, 3 of them are set only, and 1 of them is, like I said, one of those limited production that they do in chrome. So I can't remember. I think it's like 1 of 500 or something like that. But this is the MAV TV Brandon Bernstein chrome. Oh, I'm sorry, Morgan Lucas chrome MAV TV. And it's going to be hard to show up on TV because, well, it's chrome and it's wanting to reflect all that light. But suffice to say, yeah, the whole car is chrome except for the tampo for the advertisers and the wing. It's even got chrome rims up front and in back, not just in the back. And most of the time they just paint those silver, and that's actual done with chrome this time. So pretty cool, nice little detail that they added to it. I was fortunate enough, like I said, when these came available, that I got one at a reasonable price before they went through the moon, and then they just disappeared completely. A lot of people don't like the chrome. Like I said, I like it. It makes it look clean. Oh yeah, no, they reached that point, Don, a few years ago. If you watch Topio drag racing or NHRA drag racing on TV, you probably heard the name Scott Palmer, and he's a little bit older than me, but we grew up in the Springfield area street racing. That's where he got known around here anyway, was street racing, and he parlayed street racing money into buying cars, selling cars, and working his way up to where he finally got sponsors that helped him buy cars. And, you know, kudos to him. He made a living out of literally street racing, and then quit his job after he got to a certain point and was able to go full-time racing. So, but yeah, Scott Palmer is a perfect example of how much money, I know personally how much it costs, and he gets used parts that I couldn't afford, you know, and so that just tells me that, you know, the new, what they cost new is somewhere in the stratosphere. This one, yes, this is out of the John Force Mac Tools set. This is the first one. This is the Doug Coletta. Good call, Privateer. You are dead on it. And this is a set only version of this Mac Tools car. There is a version of this car different that we saw earlier. Just a few little things that are different, but it is different, and it is a set only car. I love that big wrench, like I said up there. It's a few of the Stanley things and the Mac Tool things are just, there's just a few little things that are different about this car, but it is a set only car. And that's what I was getting to, is those three are the that came from that John Force Mac Tools racing set. And that's how I was able to get these. So I actually own the race set, and I bought the race set with the cars. And those were the two funny cars. It came with five. It came with three Top Field Dragsters and two funny cars. We've already seen the funny cars. But here's the other part, which is Top Field Dragsters. And this is a Brittany Force livery. Once again, Castrol Edge. This is a set only version of this car. That's the only way you're going to see it available, is in that set or individually if someone's trying to sell it. I don't know. I think I like that car. It's cool looking. The black and the gold. Good looking. The youngest of the Force daughters. And then last but not least, we have the breast cancer awareness, Doug Coletta pink, Mac Tools Top Fuel Dragster. Once again, this is the third of the Top Fuel Dragsters that we're in with that set. And I see that the light is really whitening it out, but yeah, you can kind of see this is a pink car. There we go. That's a little better. See if I can get it up there. Do that. Oh, I heard the camera clicking. My bad. Back off. So, good looking car. It's a awareness that we can all get behind. Nobody wants to have anybody they know or anybody have breast cancer. So cool. So once again, that was part of that 5-car set, not included with any individual buy like we saw with the others. And then so that was every Top Fuel Dragster that they have. And then we saw the latest three in the very beginning of the Look What Scott's Got. The next little section here is just filler, waiting on more of the Top Fuel Dragsters to fill this case. And then obviously move on once they do it. But they don't do as many Top Fuel Dragsters as they do funny cars. So something tells me that the funny cars case is going to get built first. But here is what we have, a brand new old stock. It's a track that I'll never own. But when you get the chance to buy the car brand new and in the cube, and the price is right, and you like that style of car, and you own it already. Yes, Mike, I agree with you 100%. I've got, I don't have that track set. I've just got that one Matco Tools Dragster Dawn. And so, yeah, this is an Ultra 5. This is their Tyco version of a TCR, Total Control Racing. This is where they thought that they could steer the cars. That's why you see the front wheels are kind of turned. And that was supposed to give you the impression that the wheels were actually turning the car when it was actually just the polarity of the magnet shooting it over from the shoes. But anyway, like I said, brand new in the box, still has the paper in the bottom. You can still find these every so often on eBay because the Ultra 5 cars weren't that popular. But like I said, just having one brand new in the box is pretty cool. And then I already had this one opened up and in the case, and I figured if I got a good enough price on it, I'd just go ahead and buy it, and I did. So that's why that's in there. It's brand new, just the band's been cut and never been used. So one of the versions of the Ron Capps Napa car. This is what they call their tribal paint scheme. Yeah, it's coming out. You can see that's what they called it. That good looking car, and that's from their don't tell you what series, but yeah, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it's one of the first funny car series. Since I already had one, like I said, I figured why bust it out. All right, this is a still banded Ghostbusters Set Car. Like I said, I don't own the set, but I was able to purchase the car still banded. So this is how they used to come in the sets in the box before they got cheap. Okay, yeah. See, those are some of what they do is like what you guys are describing there, Don and Mike. Are the those are specialty like for sets and stuff like that. And I noticed they've got two different 3-car sets right now that are limited production, kind of like what they did with the Jungle Gym Legends funny cars. They did a special one-off of 3 of those cars that thing pulls down, yeah, $150 to $200 for if you find it on eBay. And then they got a Mac Tools 5-car set that I've seen that pulls down around $150 to $200. And so that's what those are. Those are specialties. Those are ones that were only offered in a limited run for a limited manufacturer or by Auto World for just a limited amount of time. But most of them, when they have Mac Tools or Matco or something like that, that means those people contracted them to make those cars, and that's why they're not listed as part of the series per se. So those would be considered set cars or one-offs because of their, they're not listed as open to the public. They were sold through like Mac dealers or Matco dealers. So still highly collectible, I'll put it that way. And then we're not going to spend, I'm not going to sit here and bore you guys wrapping up a cubed car. We've already seen this one. This is my cubed CUDA that completed my Carfides that we'll see over there. I already have all those kind of lined up, and that's why I just threw this one in the case just to fill in the hole. But this was the one that I was missing that I finally got, and you can see it's still banded. So now I have all the Carfides brand new banded, and that is another 4-gear series that's on the wall over here that you can kind of see behind me, along with what I call the Pro Tinkers stuff, the Pro Tinker, because I've got all the Pro Tinker exclusives from the first one to the latest one on display right back there, and that'll be part of the wall packing. And then I got to find out this bottom one here that you can see. Those 4 cars are a series. Let me find out which one it is. They're 4-gear series. If this one has it. No, this cheat sheet don't have it. Okay, so you're just going to take my word for it until I can find out the real information. But this is a 4-car. I think it's the what they call the silver screen series again. And this is the 4-car series and not the 3-car series version of it. So I'm going to put the Batmobile. I'm going to put the Penguinmobile next to each other. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these 2 cars because if you go back and watch my Batman video, You can learn all the history you want to know about the Batmobile, the colors, the changes, what to look for as a collector, yada, yada, yada. But suffice to say, this is part of the Silver Screen series. So it come at 4 cars. One was the Batmobile. This one's the Penguin Mobile with the penguin on the side. You can see the little differences there. Like I said, I'm not going to, it's kind of obvious what a lot of the differences are, but I'm not going to bore everybody that's already seen that video again. But those are great looking cars. And I had to pull them out just so I could stick them in the case. So let's get these wrapped up here. Too much fragile stuff that can get broken on those bad boys real easy. Yeah, I'm curious. Any of you guys ever ran this thing around the track? How durable that Penguin umbrella is? I would think the first good crash, that thing would be gone. And if I did have those other Silver Screen series out, you'd see that I could point out some differences in this particular Scooby-Doo van versus the other Scooby-Doo vans. But obviously, this is the Scooby-Doo van. And there are several different versions of this little Scooby-Doo van. They do stuff different too. And once I get out my Auto World 4-gear cars that are already packed up, when I'm unpacking and showing them off, then I can show the differences in the livery. But suffice to say, this is not the one that you can see at Hobby Lobby or in its normal, in one of those bubble wraps. It's a different livery. It has a lot to do with the wheels here and the shading of the colors. I know that's getting whited out. I'm looking at the TV of the colors of the Tampo. But suffice to say, these are really hard to tell apart if you're trying to collect the series because the subtle differences in so many of them. And like I said, if you caught me earlier, I said that Auto World's classic move is to keep redoing the same car with something a little different and then put it in a new series. And those Batmobiles, the Penguin Mobiles, the Scooby-Doo cars, and this next one, this Christine, and the Ghostbusters cars, those are some classic examples of them burning out every option that they can get on cars. So this is the pre-Christine. This is whenever this is part of the last car of the 4-car set. This is car number 4. I think it's, yeah, you can kind of see it, but suffice to say, right up there in the window, yeah, it's coming out. There's a for sale sign. This is when, if you've seen the movie, this is how the car is supposed to have appeared when he first saw it, whenever he first wanted to buy it. And it was for sale there, and he took his buddy to go see it. Classic movie. I've got it recorded on my DVR. I watch it every year around this time of year just because I can remember going to the theater, sitting there watching it. And the first time I took the girl I was dating at the time in high school, I knew when all the stuff was going to happen. I'd grab her, scare the shit out of her every time. It was awesome. So that's one of those things. Like I said, I can see a car, and it takes me back to this time, a particular, not this car, but this movie, and it takes me back to the time that this car represents. So, like I said, all of these are little time capsules to me, and that's what I remember about the Christine is being on that date with that young woman when we were in high school, and scaring her every time because I'd already seen it with my buddies when we all jumped whenever we didn't know stuff was going to happen. But pretty cool. I love the way they did the rust. They've got a lot of these now. They call the barn finds and stuff like that. But it's a pretty cool looking car. But that's the 4th car in the Silver Screen series on that release. Great movie car, yes. Classic movie in my opinion too. To be quite honest, Don, I love that car. I mean, I love that movie. Uh, just don't piss her off, and she's all good. I'm just saying. And ironically, that's kind of the way it is in real life with race cars. Just don't piss her off, and she's all good. So there we have that case. Like I said, that's not the way it's going to get moved. That's just what I'm doing for now so we can expedite and go through the others. Like I said, that go through them more judiciously and set them where they're more solid, and then put the bubble wrap and secure more. But suffice to say, um, we got 3 more coming into this one. We know for sure when I move because I just got those in, and then so that means probably this row of cars is going to have to vamoose and find a spot on the shelf over there. So let's get this thing closed up, and then I'll move the stuff that came in tonight, and we'll kind of recap. Look what Scott's got again. Damn Chrysler. Oh wow, Privateer. Yeah, see, I love that movie. That's why, like I said, I just love these 4-gear cars, and it just kind of teased me off that Auto World just keeps trying to change 1 or 2 little things on a car and then throw it in another series to make you have to buy it. When I could put both those cars right next to there's 4 different versions of that Ghostbusters Cadillac. I can put them all next to each other, and 2 of them would be pretty obvious, and the other 2 would be like they're different, and then I'd have to show you what's different. To me, that's pushing it. But they also know there's people out me that collect, and they also know there's people like me out there that will go ahead and pay the money to do it. So that's why they do it, because there's people like me that go ahead and do it. Or just people buy them not realizing what they purchased, which is highly possible too. All right. Get this up here. Try to set it where it doesn't have a glare. And then I'll grab the other cars. I don't know if any of you guys are pit kit guys, but I love the theory behind those, being able to build your own car and then paint it and do what you want to with it. And that's why I've got all the pit kits that I could find. I just recently discovered they came out with a couple that I didn't have that I'm going to try to acquire and try to share with you guys. But those were sitting over there by those pit kits, and that's what that reminded me of. So just to go in reverse, this was the first part of the show of look what Scott's got. Obviously, the big block shootout. That was the whole track complete, minus one of the cars. The car that it had is the car that I wanted, and that's the red version of the Mustang. The only way you can get this Mustang is in that track set, bar none. They do have another red version of this Mustang, ironically. It's a little bit different, but it's in the Snap-on Tool exclusive set, and it came with a Mustang and a Camaro. So there's only 2 red Mustangs. One's a Snap-on exclusive set only car, and the other one comes in this big block shootout. And so that's why I got this set, because I've already got the track sold. I just wanted the car, so we came to a deal, me and the other guy. Then I got this Batman Camaro from the track set. It's one of the new modern Save Gotham Batman series, or the Bat Legend Returns. There's 2 versions of this car if you're a collector, and the only differences are right here on the back and the kind of the positioning of the badge for the PD, the Gotham Police Department. And so I already own this car, but I'm going to put one of them on the diorama for the racetrack. And I'll just rotate around here. And I got me another Porsche 962. This is a BF Goodrich version. And I got this one as a runner to go with. It's the one that you guys normally see together, the red and the black one. The one that I turned all red, it's going to be a runner. So the price was right. Like I said, I put in my price, what I'm willing to pay. And if it's, if I buy it, I buy it. And so I got a really good deal on both of those cars. And then last but not least, as far as the cars go out of the package, I got a couple of set only. Those are Tyco Cliffhanger Zero Gravity Corvettes, I believe is the name of the track set that they came from. And that's the only way to get them. And like I mentioned, I will throw out the tip. They're on a 440 chassis, not the X2. If you're looking for them original to collect and to make sure that both mirrors, because they're molded into the side of the body and they can get broken off, are still there if you're looking to try to collect them. So 5 really, really, really cool cars. 2 of them that are going on the shelf, 2 of them that are going to be runners, and 1 of them that's going on the diorama. So this was really cool. And then, since we can't see them all, I'll hold them up one at a time. This is the Capco Topio Dragster. This is the latest of the 3-car Topio Dragster series. And these will be opened up, put in the case. And if you've missed it, I do race all of my 4-gear Top Fuel funny cars and dragsters and pro stocks. So they all get raced, or will be raced if they haven't been already. That was their intent when I bought them. I don't care how rare they are. I bought them to race. All they have to do is go in a straight line and don't run into anything. So I think keeping them in decent shape is not going to be that hard. So it's well worth the be able to race them and have fun, and that's the whole reason why we buy these things. So there's number 1 of the 3-car series. Like I said, Capco Steve Torrance. This one's the Clay Milliken blue parts. Good looking car. Like I said, I like that fade from blue to black. Good looking. And then the 3rd car is the Doug Coletta Mac Tools Top Fuel Dragster. We've seen him a few times tonight. And let's see if I can get the top of it to show. Yeah, see, no wrench on this one. It's just got those scallops or whatever you want to call them on it. But it's still a good looking car. So, but we've seen him like 3 times tonight, 4 times tonight. So Mac Tools is a big sponsor of these cars with the Auto World, big time. So now I own actually every series that they released of the Top Fuel Dragsters after getting these 3 in the mail today. That was pretty awesome. I got me another runner for, now I have all 3 versions, red, white, blue, and yellow, for my Nostalgia Mega G Plus IROC series. And in case you missed it, that's where the color of the car stays in that lane and the drivers rotate lanes. And then I got me a red runner that I'm going to be used to race with, and something for the diorama, and then some, basically the hunt begins for this track set without cars, so that now that I have the Corvettes, I can put them together and then have the whole complete thing, like was my goal on these. So all in all, honestly, I was kind of worried since these 2 came in the bubble wrap, but it all worked out. So like I said, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Everything came in undamaged. I was really worried about my Mustang because I know how expensive this thing is. I know it, I see it routinely go on eBay used for at least $100, if not more. Because those people that do collect Mustangs know that there's only 2 red Mustangs, and the only way to get them are in those track sets. So they're highly desirable in the Ford Mustang collector crowd. So really, 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 really cool. Look what Scott got tonight. I am so glad that I could keep my grubby little paws away from opening up some of this stuff that came in earlier in the week, knowing that I was going to eventually just do one big shot of this. Like I mentioned at the very beginning, I do have more stuff coming according to the postal, advance notice. If it comes in tomorrow, then I'll do that again before I do a wall. I don't know specifically what time yet I'm going to be doing the live feed tomorrow, but I know I will be going live. I don't know if it's going to be in the afternoon or in the evening like tonight. Just all depends on the moving stuff. I try to get that stuff done when it's cooler in the day. So yeah, Adam, I'm thinking that's probably around 7. I may try to get started a little earlier because I do want to try to get one whole wall done instead of just a little section tomorrow, so I can pack it away and get it moved Sunday. So yeah, around 7 tomorrow. So Adam, you enjoy your time at the races. I will post it as soon as I get back to the house, even before I'm settled in. Give everybody as much advance notice as possible of when I will be going live, but tentatively 7 o'clock tomorrow night, if not earlier, if possible, depending on how the move goes. But I am going to go live again tomorrow, and I am going to let the viewers that do take the time to show up live to pick which wall we want to start with, and then that'll kind of determine how far I get to go, because some of these walls are more condensed than the others with cars, kind of like this wall back here with the shelves. That one's going to take a little while. And other walls, I mean, they're not nearly as condensed as that one because of the packaging. So this is going to be the really cool part for me, is getting to show off what I call my mint collection. And this in the collector world is mint. Anything that's in the original package is mint. And so tomorrow, after we get if anything comes in the mail, we get done with the Look What Scott's Got, then I'll take a little impromptu poll of which wall we want to start with, and we'll get started packing it. Basically, when I take them down off the wall, I already have a microfiber cloth with Novus on it, and I have a bottle nearby and spare towels. And anyway, I wipe them down, and then I wrap them, and then I stick them in the box and pack them like they're shipped, basically. So we'll get to see every single one of those, and I'll try to get them as close as possible, because there may be some cars that you may not know of even if existed, or you may be able to see some older cars that you just never saw brand new in the package, or only saw on eBay all beat up, or yet Etsy or wherever. So tomorrow will be a pretty good show. Any day that I'm showing any of my walls, I would suggest, even if you can't catch it live, to catch the recording, because even though I have more to add to the walls, just showing what I already have up on the walls is pretty cool. So when I do the unboxing and unpacking, when I get settled into the new home, then that's going to be the real display of actually all the mint collection cars that I have that aren't in bubble wraps and packages, that are actually in their original packaging. So I see we already lost a couple people. They know I'm getting ready to wrap it up. So it is late. It is a Friday night. I do want to thank everybody. Oh man, no problem. Oh no, man. Thank you all for stopping by. Yeah, I agree with you, Dan. That's why I bought them all. Like I said, brother from another mother, man, right there. Because like I said, I didn't buy these cars just because I thought they were going to be collectible someday. I bought them because I liked them, and that was the first start on all this collection, was from the heart. And then now it's become a challenge to try to find a bunch of the older stuff that I liked, but never really considered buying until I started collecting. So it's always something new with this hobby. So I can't wait to share it with everybody, and then see what everybody else has. That's why I do this, is to interact. It isn't to brag and show what I have, is to show what's out there, and maybe learn what other options of certain cars are out there, so we all learn and get our knowledge expanded. So thank you again to everybody. Here's, once again, I do at the beginning, I do at the end. Please, if you're a first-time viewer, I do know that over half the people that view my videos are not subscribers. If I could just get half of those people to subscribe, I would have well over 1,000 subscribers. And those of us that make these videos that don't have 1,000 subscribers are doing this for free, because we love the hobby. So I start with myself first. If you could please do me the favor, if you like this content and want to see more of my collection and get notified whenever I'm going to do another Look What Scott's Got, or hopefully some more good packing videos that you'll see some more cool cars, do the old LSS below, the like, share, subscribe. And if you like my content, then you're going to love the content in the description below. I've listed a couple of other YouTube H.O slot car makers. Dan with Slot Valley Racing has a couple of great videos up right now. He's got one with Dan with Viper Racing, and he's got one from a car show that is just, if you like one-to-one real cars, you're going to want to check that out. Get to see a guy do some live pinstriping and see some really kick-ass cars. He went to a really good car show. Steve at Stockpile Hobbies, him and his son Enzo, they have a really good little show. It's kind of nice to see one generation teaching the next generation the love for the hobby, and his son's all about it. So you know that is going to get carried down in his family into the future, because he's going to want to pass that on to his kids. You can just guarantee it, because that's how we all started, young, and it just grew into something that we continued into our adult life. And then I've also included the ProTinkerToys.com, their website, the email address for you to email the starting price for what you think the car should be for next week's auction. Let's do Brian, Ryan, and Tim a favor and show our support by emailing them and watching their auction nights and their race nights and stuff like that. And like I said, support the people that support the hobby. And then I've got the Slot Car Garage down there. There's several other people doing videos, guys. We just need to support them all and get the hobby out there, because slot cars are back. So until tomorrow night, everybody, stay safe. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart for joining in tonight. Get out there, light some sparks, and melt some plastic. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.